It is the case at the moment that there is no treatment for any form of dementia, including Alzheimer's, that even slows down the progression of the disease, never mind cures it. So there are treatments and therapies out there, but they only affect the symptoms of the disease. They don't affect the actual disorder and the progression of the disorder. Those treatments, although they work very well for some people, they don't work for everybody. And if they do work, they only work for a short period of time, sometimes less than 2 years. So there is an enormous need to be able to get more medications and therapies and treatments together to assist people who develop all the different forms of dementia, Alzheimer's, for example. So to be able to do that, we need to do what's called clinical trials. And a clinical trial happens when somebody, a university or a pharmaceutical industry, when they have a potential therapy, a drug, and they want to be able to test it on people to see if it works. And every drug has to go through this phase. Paracetamol has all gone through trials, as your ibuprofen, your statins, everything has to go through this phase. So if it is the case that you are living with a diagnosis of dementia, Alzheimer's in particular, there are actually lots and lots of opportunities for you to get involved in clinical research. And there are lots of benefits for doing so. If you are enrolled onto a study, then you get access to the very latest medications. You get to see a doctor and a nurse on a regular basis. You get all your tests done, blood tests, your heart tests, lots of different tests that monitor your progression. And you actually get access to scans that really aren't available on the NHS, expensive scans. The pharmaceutical companies will pay for all these monitoring tests so that they can prove whether that drug will work or not. However, you get the results. So you are able to monitor your own condition. And for example, if it was my mum who had Alzheimer's, I would go along with her, and I would be, as a carer, I would be reassured how she was getting on. So a lot of people think that they want to do a clinical trial for their children and their grandchildren and to help mankind, which of course is a fantastic reason for doing so, but actually there are benefits for getting involved yourself. They're not easy tests to do actually for Alzheimer's drug because it is such a slow progressing disease. But without these clinical trials, we're not going to be able to formulate any more medications to help people who develop it in the future. So Defying Dementia is working towards getting a new therapy, a new drug, and it is also supporting people who are living today with a diagnosis in the community. And we're also, Lancaster University are also very lucky to have teamed up with a Blackpool-based clinical research organisation called MAC Clinical Research. And they are the experts. They have got decades of experience in recruiting for and running clinical trials into Alzheimer's disease. And in fact, they were actually part of the clinical trial for Aricept, which is sort of the main drug that is prescribed for people with Alzheimer's today. So MAC and the university are working together to be able to promote the drug, get the investment in and the funds in that we need, and then when all the safety testing has been done, MAC Clinical Research will actually do the first human clinical trials at their hospital ward, which is actually in Manchester. and then the whole thing will be kick-started, and fingers crossed we will have success with this drug. Now, we think that our drug, I know I'm biased, but we think that our drug is better. It's a different mode of action, and we're going to make sure it gets the best opportunity for being a success. And just think about it. A Northwest Lancashire University teams up with a Northwest-based clinical research organisation, and we will be recruiting people from the Northwest to come onto our clinical trials. You know, what a fantastic success story for Lancashire and the Northwest of England.